Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is Christina with the Mamathon Diaries here today on a slightly impromptu live. I have been planning to do a live video for like the past, excuse me, couple of days, and things have just been busy and moving around, ministry stuff. And we've been traveling and doing all these things. And so this afternoon, I had a little bit of time to press pause and share with you all. I had just finished up a work hour with a new internet bestie with all these notes preparing to present for the Women of Color Coaches Network tomorrow and Thursday, facilitating a wellness portion on all the things that we talk about here in the Mamathon community. You guys pray for me. I'm serious. If you know God and you know prayer, pray for me for this opportunity tomorrow. These are lady coaches with University of Notre Dame and Rutgers and some of the WNBA teams. So your girl is taking some time and just branching out in some new ways. And so I just ask that y'all keep me in prayer as we go to next levels. God is so good at opening dynamic doors. And I firmly believe that learning to rest more, embrace more clarity, shift how we spend our energy, how we balance our family lives are the key to greater success, how to live a life that you really love. All of this stuff tied in together. So you guys keep me in your prayers and in your thoughts. Hello, everybody. Because today we're talking about mom life, and some of the ladies that I'm facilitating to tomorrow are mothers, but others of them are not, and they're just super booked and busy and travel all the time and facilitate for young ladies and women who are doing the same thing. And so someone asked me to step in and do some facilitating. So I'm excited. And I just ask for you guys to keep me your thoughts and your prayers. Thank you, Yanni. I hope I said your name correctly. Hi, Anthony. So good to see you. I'm just excited. You know, God is so good. And I'm going to tell you all a tip, right? Tell you guys a tip that I took a public speaking class. This was like last year. Meanwhile, I have done speaking for years, but I was thinking in my mind that me going to this class was going to teach me something I didn't know. It kind of didn't, but I was still glad I was there. And I know the only reason I was there, the only reason that I was there at that class was to meet this woman. I ain't gonna tell y'all how much money I spent on this class that I could have taught myself, but the only reason I was there, hey Michelle, was because I was supposed to meet this woman who used to work at Nike and used to is a sports agent. That was the only reason I was there. So that's a tip for somebody who's trying to move to the next thing. Sometimes you got to go and be there in that space and in that room in order to go to your next level. Okay. So today the time is 2:58. I don't have a lot of time today. Okay. Some days I say that and I end up being on for like 45 minutes. That is not today. I got to cook some food before we leave. We got Vacation Bible School tonight. And y'all know I'm the pastor's wife. Evidently, we're supposed to be there. So I am about to share a few thoughts about this post that is floating around the internet. And it is so potent and so it's really incredible. This is not the TD Jakes conversation that my husband and I said we were going to have, but instead one about moms getting overstimulated. Hi, Sade. Hey, everybody. About moms having overstimulation and how sometimes it can be mistaken for anger, okay? It can be mistaken for feeling mad. So this is what the post says. Can we talk about the fact that moms get overstimulated and it's mistaken for anger? No, I'm not angry. I'm just trying to soothe the screaming baby. I'm hearing mom, mom, mom. The TV is on 88. Y'all realize that? Like, once your kids go to bed, you can turn the TV down to like 4. And you can still hear it when your kids are up. Hi, Kershaw. Hey, ladies. When the kids are up, it's got to be on 100. But then when they go to bed, you can turn it down to 4 and still hear the scream. That's another conversation. She says there's someone mowing the lawn. My Apple Watch is dinging. My shirts are too tight. She says my hair isn't in a good bun. I'm not angry. I'm overstimulated. I'm not mad. I'm overstimulated. She says motherhood is exhausting, incredibly exhausting. No matter what, somebody always needs you. Did I say that and sound mad? It's okay. Go to work. Somebody needs you. Come home. Somebody needs you. Go to sleep. Somebody needs you. Showering. Somebody needs you. Going to the bathroom. Somebody needs you. A child, a baby. I'm always needed. Says, please just let me collect myself. Let me collect myself before y'all start to accuse me of being in a bad mood. Okay. Somebody said, been there. Hey, Janisha. So for all of us who are multitasking mom superheroes, okay, like I don't think we have any ladies in this community, in this tribe that are not doing the absolute most. In fact, we do not shame you for doing the most. In fact, we applaud you, but encourage you to put this energy and this mostness into the right places. Into the right places, okay? So one thing that I want to celebrate first is this mom's authentic statement. Okay? We know she is not lying. Whether you have one kid, 3 kids, 5 kids, like I do, some ladies in our community have 8 children, okay? It just depends on your situation, and your circumstance will depend how you feel, but it is okay. I want us to know first, it's all right for you to feel overstimulated. It's okay for you to feel overwhelmed in your mom life journey. It's okay for some days you legit feel like I'm going to call it quits, as if you could quit your whole family. It's okay if a friend or two have shamed you about having too much coffee. Okay? Y'all don't have all the kids I got. Okay? Don't tell me I'm having too much caffeine. It is the thought pattern that comes from us. Maybe we assume that being a mom was a certain kind of way. Maybe we assumed that our children would be a certain kind of way. Maybe sometimes we forgot how good that sex really was. Some of us forgot. I'm going to tell you something. I was emotionally helped. Okay. When I remembered, I was the one who had the fun. It was me. Every now and then my kids jokingly remind us, like, Mama, we didn't have nothing to do with being here. That was you and Daddy having a good time. And now look at you. Y'all should have pulled it together. Like, you know what, baby, you right, but I wouldn't trade my life for anything at all. Okay. So it is the thought pattern that it's okay to be overstimulated. But number one, to remember, I think I put myself in these shoes. I have a phenomenal client with a financial services business. And she was like, everything in my house is all over the place, but I think it's my fault. She said, I think it's me. I said, well, sis, that's the realest thing I've heard all week. I'm here for it. Once we understand that a component of this actually is us, then now we can go about fixing it. If we're feeling overwhelmed, overstimulated, there's no space, there's no margin, as we share about it in our community. If there's no margin, if we're experiencing those continuous traits of emotional overwhelm, physical overwhelm, auditory overwhelm. I told one of the ladies watching, I was like, I call this maternal sensory overload, where my senses are so engaged all the time, I just need a few minutes. And then I asked you all, I said, well, what's the solution here? What is the solution to this conundrum? When we are feeling maxed out, too done, I quit all of y'all. You all know these feelings that we have on a regular basis. These moments where we just wish we had this little block of time to orchestrate ourselves and pull ourselves together and see a beautiful finish line. Sometimes it's so hard to finish. One of my new sisters, LaShawn, she asked me, she said, do you have ADHD? And I was like, no, but I have kids. I have kids. I do not have a home environment that is naturally conducive to uninterrupted work. I just don't. Let me just be okay with that. Let me say it out. And I have 5 kids, 14 to 4. 14 to 4. I am honored to support women from all over the country, right? All over the country and outside of the US as well, with work-life balance, right? And scheduling and what's overwhelming you and why do you feel like your life sucks right now? Why do you feel stuck? How do we need to move around what we're doing with our kids and our businesses to make sure that it's conducive to fruitfulness without burnout? Fruitfulness without burning out. Okay. And so today, I first want you to know that it's okay for you to feel overwhelmed. I'm going to take 5 extra minutes and minister to that. And then I'm going to go and make sure my husband got some lunch. Bet? Okay. So tomorrow, when I present for the Women of Color Coaches Network with some of the amazing coaches from Rutgers and Furman and Notre Dame, and even a couple WNBA teams. As I go to do this tomorrow, I talked about 3 ways, y'all hear me, 3 symptoms that show us we're living in emotional overwhelm, okay? I have a book that we've done some teaching out of called Take the Day Off by Pastor Robert Morris that goes into a lot more depth. But for sake of time today, I'm just going to touch on a few of these. And if you see yourself in what I shared, feel free to come and hop in my messenger and let's see how I can help to support you. Bet? Okay. So number 1 is living life without margin. Now, some of us don't really know exactly what margin is. Margin is the white space. Okay. So if you look at this sheet of paper, everybody see my sheet of paper? You are designed to write down this middle. Okay, hello everyone. You're designed to write down this middle. However, the powers that be gave you this little extra line on the outside to give you guidance, but just in case you spill over, you have a little bit of space. Y'all got me? You have a little bit of space. So that being said, some of us are living our lives without margin. This is being 30 minutes late to a meeting because you were 20 minutes late getting to the doctor, because you ran into traffic, because you left home 15 minutes late, because you got your kids up late and didn't think about all the things that they needed trying to do that. So you have now let your scheduling and your life constantly spill over to the next thing. There isn't a lot of space for you to sit and breathe and adjust and say, am I operating in clarity or am I just powering through constantly to the next thing? Okay. Am I taking that time? He says margin is having moments with nothing there. Nothing there before we move on to the next event, to the next need, to addressing for the next person. How do you need to build more margin into your life? How do we need to do that? What does that look like for us during this season, right? For Christina, it is me moving the majority of my clients to Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays for coaching, so that Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday is sold out and delivered to my children only for our homeschooling schedule. That's margin for me. What would that look like for you? Good morning, Rhonda. Afternoon. Thank you for being here. Okay, that's building in margin, a little bit extra space. Do I need to get up a little earlier? Do I need to take 10 extra minutes before I lay down at night to load the dishwasher so I'm not mad when I wake up and there are no cups? What do I need to do to create some more margin? Number 2, a symptom of you being overwhelmed. You like, oh, you know what, sis? The family is for the streets, okay? Take 3 more minutes. Number 2 is loss of motivation, satisfaction, and sense of accomplishment. The things that used to float your boat just don't float your boat anymore. They don't excite you. They don't thrill you. You don't feel motivated. You procrastinate. When somebody comes and checks you about the things that you said you wanted, I do this all the time. Like, there'll be women, I need a change. I want to try to do my life. Just, okay, great. Let's get started. Yes, I'm ready. And something happens in the back of their mind that causes them to push what they said they wanted to the back burner. They're no longer motivated because they left this Zoom meeting, this quiet, intimate space where we're having this moment. They've left this time and now they're moving back to their regular life. And they're like, wait a second, I don't think I can handle the process of organizing my world. But on the other side of that is this beautiful, restful, purposeful existence where you don't feel like I got to do all the things and be in all the places and I don't have support. I don't have help. I'm locked in. I'm stuck. Like this isn't the life I want to live. Like on the other side of that effort is that sitting there is businesses or a career that fuels you. It's beautiful over there. It's just good living. Have y'all seen a single child come through here? I can be on live for an hour. And y'all don't see not one kid come in and knock over unless I just say, yeah, baby, come on. Ask mama what you want to ask her. There's a difference. Y'all see the difference, right? Like really being able to operate in a life that you love, that fuels what you really, really want. So number 1 is life without margin. Number 2 is loss of motivation, satisfaction in your work, and sense of accomplishment. You no longer take note of those achievements. And number 3, our symptoms start to leak out to our network and to the people that we love, okay? So we can feel detached and alone, like nobody else has a life like ours. My life is so special, so bizarre, so unique that nobody else understands. It's just me. I'm alone. So then I have these moms that come to me and they're like, okay, I got 4 kids. I got 5 kids. I got 6 kids. I want to learn about balance from somebody that got as many kids as I do. And that's where I get to kind of come into play, right? So our symptoms start to leak out to others. We can feel detached or alone. We can have a consistently pessimistic outlook. Your attitude can show that you don't really believe the best anymore. Your effort becomes mediocre. I said that. Your effort becomes average. Your work, average. How hard you try, average. It becomes average. Inconsistent. Procrastination. Can't take a single step forward because you feel stuck in your mind that it has to be perfect or nothing. This is where how our overwhelm surfaces in our lives, okay? And so one thing that I love about this other particular book called the 10X Rule, and sometimes I read it, is what it looks like. Sometimes I read it, just to remind myself that being successful is my obligation. Winning is my obligation. And aside from that, the path to winning and being my level of success, I'm talking about flued out. So like, I see where we're going with this. I know where this is going, right? My path to that is going to have more, it's going to take more effort than I think it will. But there's no exception about me compared to everybody else, right? So when we go back into pushing ourselves to be that person, feeling like we're overwhelmed and overstimulated, I want you to ask yourself, am I building in margin? What was my second one? Am I feeling like I'm no longer motivated? Like, how do I need to push myself over that level of lack of motivation? Okay. And then number 3, am I seeing my symptoms leak out to my family members? Where I'm yelling more, I feel tightness in my neck and shoulders. I've had the same goals. Y'all know I like to talk about y'all just a little bit. I talk about myself, so it's okay. You know, we had the same goals in our journals for months and months. And it's just there, you know, like we can give ourselves better. We can give ourselves better. So ask yourself first, can I just build in more margin? Can I just build in more empty space where there is nothing there? Can I communicate better with my loved ones? Can I tell my husband, hey, babe, I just need a few minutes? Can I tell my in town bestie, you want to swap kids on a night? Like one night, I keep your kids from 6 to 9. Then the next night, you keep my kids from 6 to 9. You want to do that? My children are now at the age where they can stay home by themselves and not burn the house down. Hallelujah, we made it. But before then, it was survival by any means necessary. So that's what we had to do. Okay. So I just want to encourage you today. You are not by yourself. You are not the only one. There's nothing wrong with you. You are not broken. In this same mindset, I want us to remember, recall, and understand that it's okay for me to need to do the work. Yes, Sandra, it's okay for me to need to do this work, to put effort in, to teach my children things that they need to know so that they can be helpful around the house. My daughter's over there right now, iron clothes. Right? What do I need to do? Who do I need to be? What do I need to teach them so that I have time to be less stimulated? One of my go-tos is if you come in and ask me anything while I'm in the bathroom, it's automatically no. And I stuck to that for like 2 years just to take a shower without anybody interrupting me. Now they might knock on the door and I say, hey, I'm dressing. Can I just get a few minutes? And unless it's emergent or time sensitive, I get those moments. But this comes from a place of embracing more clarity, knowing what peace looks like for me, knowing when I need time or making those adjustments, that it's okay for me to make those adjustments and talk to my family, communicate with my family in order to succeed in that way. Okay. So I hope somebody feels a little help today. This is not a long live. I hope that somebody feels that they're not by themselves. I hope that someone feels like a different sense of perspective, like I can build some margin in order to feel more like myself. Like once we realize we're overstimulated, we have to remove the stimulation. Okay, we have to remove the stimulation. So that might be the baby is screaming and the kids are saying, mom, mom. They might be, let's put the baby in a stroller or strap the baby to us and we take the kids outside. So if y'all are mom and me, it's outside in this big open field and I'm exercising or walking. Like y'all, if I could tell y'all how many miles I walk with my twins and my older son, I will put all 3 kids in the double stroller and I would just walk miles until I couldn't take anymore and my kids just fell asleep. And that was my sanity. I just had to leave. I had to walk out the house. We couldn't stay in the house and just be in this little bubble. We had to go. So ask yourself, if I'm overstimulated, how do I take the stimulation out? How do I create more margin? And what are my symptoms that I can communicate to my loved ones so that I feel heard? They feel like they understand where I'm coming from before I feel the need to run away from home and never return. Okay? So that's it for today. I'm about to go cook up some food really quickly for my hubby who will be home in a bit. But I just want you guys to feel encouraged. If there's any way that I can help to support your multitasking supermom hero from another planet journey, if you are building a family and nurturing babies and building a business and trying to figure out how do all of these moving pieces come together, then I'm your coach, I'm your person, and I'm happy to support you. Okay. You can feel free to hop in my DM anytime. I'm always around. Okay. Love you guys so much. I pray that y'all have an incredible, prosperous, and an awesome day. And I look forward to chatting with you all again tomorrow. Okay. Love you guys too. And we'll talk soon.